Welcome everyone, join us today as we delve into founding member of bands Small Faces and Faces, Ronnie Lane. Known for his soulful bass playing, heartfelt songwriting, and magnetic stage presence in the British rock scene of the 1960s and 70s. So let's dive in. Ronald Frederick Lane, born the 1st of April 1946 in Plaistow, London, in England. Ronnie was born in Plaistow Maternity Hospital in East London to Elsie and Stanley Lane, a truck driver. Growing up in a working-class family, Ronnie highly admired his father for his dedication to caring for his family. Despite the long hours at work, Stanley was always there to nurse his wife and two sons, all of whom were eventually diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, MS. Though doctors assured Ronnie as a child that MS wasn't necessarily hereditary, he later discovered he had inherited the disease. Ronnie's father encouraged his musical interests, advising him that learning to play guitar would ensure he always had a friend, advice that led to the formation of his first band. Ronnie left school at 16 in 1962, just as the British blues boom was taking off. He learned guitar and soon met drummer Kenny Jones at a local pub, leading to the formation of their band, The Outcasts. Though he started on lead guitar, Ronnie quickly transitioned to bass, which he would master. While shopping for a harmony bass guitar with his father at the J60 Music Bar in Manor Park, London, he met Steve Marriott, who worked there. Hitting it off, after purchasing the bass, Ronnie visited Marriott's home, where he was introduced to Motown and Stax Records. Later, Ronnie invited Marriott to a pub gig where Marriott jumped on the pub's piano, breaking the keys. The landlord kicked him out and the band broke up. Thereafter, Ronnie and Marriott decided to start a band, bringing in friends Jimmy Winston, who shifted from guitar to organ, and Jones, with Marriott becoming the group's frontman and singer. The Small Faces featured Ronnie on bass, Marriott as guitarist and lead vocalist, Jones on drums, and Winston on keyboards. Their name reflected their short stature, with none taller than 5 feet 6 inches. Debuting in 1965, Ian McLagan replaced Winston that November. They enjoyed chart success with hits like Itchy Park, Lazy Sunday, Tin Soldier, and All or Nothing. Ronnie and Marriott were prolific songwriters, co-writing most tracks on their 1968 concept album Ogden's Nut Gone Flake, which held the UK albums chart's top spot for 6 weeks. After Marriott left in 1969 to form Humble Pie, the band disbanded. Despite their brief 4-year run, they produced 6 studio albums, 3 live albums, 4 compilations, and 14 singles. Their music from the mid to late 60s is highly regarded, with AllMusic calling them the best English band ever to break into the American market. In 1969, Ronnie, along with Ian McLagan and Kenny Jones, teamed up with Ronnie Wood and Rod Stewart from the Jeff Beck Group to form Faces. As pioneers of the good time blues rock movement at the end of the 60s, Faces quickly became central to the scene. Ronnie, the band's bassist and songwriter, was its heart and soul. Over 4 years, they toured the world, filling stadiums and producing hits like Stay With Me and Pool Hall Richard. Ronnie shared songwriting duties with Stewart and Wood, playing a key role in creating many of their beloved tracks. However, by 1973, dissatisfied with poor reviews of their final album Ooh La La and Stewart's growing focus on his solo career, Ronnie decided to leave the band, making his last appearance on June 4 at the Sundown Theatre in London. Their repertoire included 4 studio albums, 1 live album, 10 singles, 7 compilation albums, and 2 box sets. As well as music, Ronnie founded Lane's Mobile Studio, shortened to LMS, in 1972, one of the first mobile recording studios. Housed in a 26-foot 1968 Airstream trailer from the USA, it featured a 16-track setup with a Helios mixing console, Studer and Revox tape machines, and tannoy monitoring. After leaving Faces in 1973, Ronnie set up the studio at his farm in Hissington, Wales. The LMS became renowned for its legendary sound, especially its exceptional bass response. Ronnie also leased the studio to other artists. Next, Ronnie formed band Slim Chance, releasing the singles How Come, reaching UK number 11, and The Poacher, UK number 36, and the album Any More for Any More, blending British rock, folk, and country music. The original band included Scottish duo Benny Gallagher and Graham Lyle, who left in May 1974 to pursue their own career but appeared later as guests on Rough Mix in 1977. Ronnie then toured the UK with The Passing Show, a circus-style carnival featuring tents and barkers, with Viv Stanshall briefly as ringmaster. Gallagher and Lyle were replaced by Scottish duo Lucas and McCulloch and fiddle player Kenny Slavin. Ronnie moved to Island Records, releasing Ronnie Lane's Slim Chance and One for the Road. In late 1976, Ronnie briefly rejoined a reformed Small Faces but left after 2 rehearsals, with Rick Wills taking his place. Still under contract with Atlantic Records due to his time with the Faces, Ronnie teamed up with Pete Townsend of The Who to create Rough Mix. The album featured guest appearances by Eric Clapton and reached the top 50 charts in both the UK and USA. Despite critical acclaim, the album faced poor promotion and sales. In 1977, while recording Rough Mix, Ronnie was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when he showed signs of loss of muscle control, became very forgetful, slurred speech and was tripping up a lot. Despite this, he continued to tour, write, and make music, collaborating with artists like Eric Clapton. In 1979, he released See Me, featuring songs co-written with Clapton. During this period, Ronnie embraced a nomadic lifestyle, traveling across England in full gypsy attire and living in a modern version of a traveling show. In 1983, girlfriend Boo Oldfield reached out to Glyn Johns to organize a benefit concert for Action for research into multiple sclerosis. Since Johns was already planning a command performance for Prince Charles with Eric Clapton, they decided to add 2 nights at the Royal Albert Hall for the ARMS charity concerts. The lineup included Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, Ronnie Wood, Kenny Jones, Andy Fairweather Lowe, Steve Winwood, Ray Cooper, James Hooker, Fernando Saunders, Chris Stainton, Tony Hymas, Simon Phillips, Joe Cocker, and Paul Rogers. They also toured the US. In 1984, Ronnie moved to Texas, initially to Houston and then to Austin, where the climate was better for his health. There, he continued to play, write, and record music. He formed an American version of Slim Chance, featuring a rotating lineup of musicians, including Alejandro Escovedo. The band played around Austin for 8 years until Ronnie's declining health made public performances impossible. Ronnie enjoyed his rock royalty status in Austin and toured Japan with his wife Nurse Susan, whom he married in the late 1980s. In 1990, his mother passed away from MS. Ronnie's final performance was in 1992 at a Ronnie Wood gig, with Ian McLagan also performing. Jimmy Page, Rod Stewart, and Ronnie Wood generously supported Ronnie's medical expenses, while Kenny Jones and Ian McLagan worked to secure ongoing royalty payments from the Small Faces work, though both Ronnie and Steve Marriott had already passed away by then. Personally, Ronnie was married 3 times and fathered 2 biological children. His first marriage was to Susan Hunt, also known as Genevieve, a minor British artist. He then married Kate McKinney, with whom he had 2 children. His third and final marriage was to Nurse Susan Gallegos, who survived him. Additionally, Ronnie had a long-term relationship with Boo Oldfield before his final marriage. By 1996, Ronnie's condition had worsened to the point where he could no longer speak or move. Despite trying various treatments, including homeopathy and even snake venom injections, his health continued to decline. On the 4th of June 1997, Ronnie died from pneumonia during the final stages of multiple sclerosis. He was later buried in the Masonic Cemetery in Trinidad, Colorado. And there you have it. Thanks for helping us celebrate Ronnie Lane's life and legacy. Though his later years were marred by health challenges, his contributions to rock and roll continue to inspire generations of musicians and fans alike. Like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Take care and bye for now.